What's going on, people? Welcome back to sort of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Pitter Patter Pop. Today we're just gonna do a quick video. Um, Normally I wouldn't do a video like this because it's just sort of not that much to talk about. I get sort of. I mean, there's a lot to talk about with it, but it's not a lot of verified news. It's mostly just the sprites for a voiced Part 4 Jotaro have released, or not released. They were leaked. They were mined out of the game. In typical sprite sheet form, and then some artists or whoever put them together, kind of pieced these sprite sheets together to make what you see in front of you. This is the standard, probably his skill animation is my guess. There are also sprites for his victory pose, and of course the Star Platinum of the world. And there's a lot to sort of take in from this. So the rumor is that he's going to drop next. They're not verified. It's just a rumor. There's been no official announcement in the game or the Twitter page that he is coming as of the creation of this video. So keep that in mind. That a lot of what I'm talking about is conjecture, but he is in the game, fully sprited up. The rumor is that he'll be out on the 29th or the 30th, and it's of course voiced Part 4 Jotaro. This character is obviously pretty integral to the history of Pitter Patter Pop. He came out a long time ago. I first started the game when his very first initial release banner was out, which was over a year ago, a long time ago. That banner was really good, by the way. Every multi, you got a guaranteed GR ticket to get you more GRs. Such a good banner to start on. Anyway, um, he came out and he was really, really good. And he's always been really, really good. He has always been either the number one character or in contention for the position against other characters like Risotto and Diavolo and all that kind of stuff that were kind of taking over the game here and there. But every time one of those characters takes a step back, they lose a little bit. Fortar is always right there, ready to take the spot back. So seeing that a voiced version is coming has people kind of stressed out. Um, there's been some discussion in places that Part 4 Jotaro is sort of the issue with Pitter Patter Pop, and that if he were removed from the equation, Score Attack would be a bit more inviting, and it would be a bit less of a dominated by him. Um, but of course, that creates another problem where if you were to, for example, remove him or ban him from Score Attack or nerf him in some way, he's been so good for so long that he's basically been everyone's target for a very long time. And so people have put a lot of time, diamonds, resources, and tickets into making their Part 4 Jotaro as good as they can get him. And then to take that away would certainly upset quite a few people. Um, I don't know where I stand on it. I feel like maybe there could be some score attacks with something like a ban list, and it wouldn't be a permanent one. Like he wouldn't be banned from it forever, but maybe like every now and again they would drop a score attack with a list of like the most prominent GRs that are not allowed to be used, just to encourage some sort of creativity. That's not just Part 4 Jotaro and voice risotto every single time, you know. Um, but I don't think the unit himself needs to be nerfed because I think that would be problematic for everybody. I mean, the ripples of the effect that Part 4 Jotaro has had on the game, you still feel it now, right? So they released like Voice Gyakko and Anubis Polnareff, and you can see, and even Hideo, that like they're all time stoppers, and they specifically have limitations on them that prevent them from being as universally busted as the original Part 4 Jotaro is. And like that's because they see what he's done to the game and have chosen not to let him keep doing it, right? Like they don't want other people to come out and just power creep him because he's already so broken that if you keep releasing units that power creep him, where do you stop, right? Because it just goes forever. So the voiced one coming out has a lot of people stressed out due to voiced units' history of being better than the unit that their predecessor unit, right? Like Vorst Jorno is in a similar vein to the original and is of course better. And then when you're looking at the poses, he's very clearly a time stopper. Um, This is a time stop pose that he takes. So the sprite poses are actually, my Discord server did a little bit of research. We were talking about it the other day because there was some debate on whether or not these poses were from his battle against Sheer Heart Attack or his battle against Bites the Dust. And we were able to match every single pose to Bites the Dust. Um, this is the I Made It in Time, the one on the screen, where he's rushing up to stop time before Kira can reactivate Bites the Dust. And his victory pose is he's turned around, which is the same pose that the Star Platinum takes after he Ora rushes Killer Queen to finish off Kira. So that's cool for a few reasons. One, he's obviously going to be a time stopper. Obviously, I mean, I don't think there's ever any debate that he wasn't going to be, but this is basically confirmation he's going to be a time stopper because all of his poses are related to time stopping. And two, it may be a subtle nod that we're going to get Bites the Dust soon. I mean, we're coming up on the second anniversary. We're over halfway there because the 1.5 was around the release of Voice Risotto. It should be in October, I believe, is going to be the 2 year. And then that puts us in a position where we could see Bites the Dust and a new Josuke because the last anniversary was obviously Jotaro and Hideo. So we could move on to part 4 in a similar fashion to that one, or they could come out sooner, and the anniversary could be something like Voice Gold Experience Requiem and Voice King Crimson or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. But it's interesting that we're getting a character that's directly yanked out of Bites the Dust, like directly pose yanked from it. Because, at least to me, that kind of means that we might see some more Bites the Dust soon. We might see, like, obviously Bites the Dust itself with the slick back Kosaku hair and Bloody Josuke, like the famous You're Within My Range Josuke where he has the final standoff with Killer Queen. I would love another Josuke that looked like that. And I kind of would like Hayato. I don't know what he would do, but I think it would be cool if we got Hayato and a new Okuyasu. We could easily get an Okuyasu from that era as well, who is voiced. I would like that a lot. But we'll see where they're gonna go with him. I mean, like I said, we don't really have any information for him right now. All that stuff about Bites the Dust and where it's gonna go, that's all conjectural. All we have is his images and the fact that those images line up with the Bites the Dust fight. That's all we've got. Now the the big question is will he be as good as his original self or even maybe better than him? And I would say probably not. Um, I think it's very clear with the way they've released the other Time Stoppers that they don't want to release a Time Stopper that is inherently better than the original one. Um, will they skirt that rule for him? Like, will they be willing to make his voice version better than the original just because? Maybe. I don't know. I hope not, and I don't think so. Um, I don't know. See, power creeping Part 4 Jotaro doesn't solve the problem that Part 4 Jotaro represents, which is that he is dominant on everything. The problem is there's a big power gap in this game, right? You have GRs drop like Jay Guile, and like just all these characters that don't really do anything. And then you have, Part 4 Jotaro, Voice Risotto, Diavolo, Hideo, these characters that absolutely dominate. And, like, it's fine. There's always going to be power imbalance in a gacha game. There's nothing you can do. In any video game, there's going to be power imbalance. But in a gacha game especially, there's really nothing you can do about it. But the problem sort of is, like, they jumped the gun really hard, right? They released Part 4 Jotaro, who's just ridiculous. And then every time stopper since then, they've gone out of their way to try to not make the same mistake. And it's resulted in more and more situations where Part 4 Jotaro just dominates because he was created back in this era before they started taking balance heavily into account. And I don't know if the game really exploded in popularity between then and now. I mean, it has. It's much more popular now than it was back when he first came out. And maybe they're doing that because they want people to take it more seriously, or they're taking it more seriously because of the amount of people. I don't know. But it's clear that balance is a lot more important to them now than it was back then in terms of characters like Anubis Polnareff and voiced Gyakko, not just obliterating characters that came before. Um, I'm a little worried because there's only so much you can do with time stopping, right? Like there's a limit to how many different time stopping abilities you can put in that are different. Because even like Anubis Polnareff is only marginally different than the original Part 4 Jotaro. Anyway, Voice Gyakko is also marginally different with a little bit tacked onto the end. Hideo is fairly unique. He's definitely the most unique of like the big four meta time stoppers or whatever. I guess you wouldn't call Voice Gyakko meta, but between Hideo, Anubis Polnareff, and Part 4 Jotaro, who are like the big boys, Hideo feels the most unique and the most creative. He feels the most pulled out of the series, I guess you could say. But I don't know where they can go with Part 4 Voice Jotaro that isn't making him directly better. I hope they don't make him directly better. I've been rambling for a really long time. It's hard to have a conversation like this without a second person because it's just like I have all these thoughts that I want to get out, and I don't know if any of them are going to end up being relevant. But basically, here's the facts. A voiced Part 4 Jotaro was found in the files. His sprites. We don't have anything else. We don't know his animation or his ability. Well, I guess we kind of know his animation. It's this picture, but we don't know what it's gonna do. We don't know what the ability is gonna do. We don't know like cooldown times. We don't know release date. We don't know banner. We don't know any of that stuff. All we know is that he's coming, and we don't know how good he's gonna be, and he may be a precursor reveal to an eventual Bites the Dust Kira. They've been releasing stuff kind of staggered. Like, you'll get um, it's voice Gyakko, and then, oh, it's voice Mista. Oh, here's voice Fugo. Oh, right after that, it's voice Deluso. They've split it up like that. They did it with Joseph and Abdul, too. So could they be back to back? Maybe. Maybe this is a step up part 4 voice Jotaro, and then right after that, they're going to drop a Bites the Dust. I don't know. Their banner strategy is atrocious. It's terrible. It's so bad for players in general. So they could be that. But is Part 4 Jotaro, the voiced version, going to destroy the game even more? I don't know. Nobody really knows, but I was surprised to see it, I guess, is all I have to say. I was very surprised to see that he was getting a voiced version in a relatively random time. There's really nothing super. Some people are saying he might be for the Tanabata celebration. I think that's how you pronounce it. The Japanese like festival. I don't actually know. What is the Tanabata festival? It is the Star Festival, the Japanese Star Festival. For example, Dokkan Battle usually always has a banner for it. I don't know if Pitter Patter Pop had one last year. I honestly have no idea. So it could be for that. It's the only real major like holiday or anything going on around this time in Japan that I'm aware of. But some people are saying that Jotaro is going to come out on the 29th of June. Like he'll be the very next banner, which obviously does not line up with the Tanabata celebration at all because that is the end of the first week of July. It's like 2 weeks away. So I don't know. It's hard to make sense of it right now. I guess I'm going to stop there because I've been rambling for a really long time about not a whole lot of information, but I just wanted to talk about it because Part 4 Jotaro is a very special unit when it comes to Pitter Patter Pop players and the history of the game. So I don't know. We'll wait. I'm waiting to see just as much as you guys are. So thank you for listening to me rant. Obviously, Pitter Patter Pop's a game I played for a long time, and so it's both exciting and a little nerve-wracking to see the character that both kind of made the game super popular when he first came out, and then also kind of well, it's not super popular. You know what I mean? The character who everybody wants, the character that everybody loves and is after, and also kind of destroys and breaks the game, get a second version. It's a little nerve-wracking, but here's hoping that things turn out okay, and he's not a game killer. Because if he power creeps the original Part 4 Jotaro, and it just becomes voiced Part 4 Jotaro and voiced Risotto getting like 60 million points every single time, um, it's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be a rough period of time. Really hope it doesn't come to that, but we'll find out. All right, guys. Thank you, and I will see you later.